fit him in.
Yeah.
So it's create one of the problems.
To this giant crowd.
There we go, it's much better.
Hey!
Hey!
There we go.
Hi everyone.
Yes, hello.
Welcome to the Transformers Earth Wars time.
Exactly. We've got lots to do today, actually.
No, I think we can spread out a little more.
Yeah. I think we can breathe now.
No. Just want to hug you.
Yeah, a lot to do today, a lot going on.
Yeah, we've got salty encounters to go through. We've also got Alpha Trion Core. Exciting times.
We have new 5 stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Finally.
stars.
Yeah.
All stars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that reference in the news feed, but and then what else? We got some dialogue that ENG Hoist sent in. Well, actually, Dirty Spot sent in on ENG Hoist's behalf. So we'll listen to some dialogue that he did. We won't listen to the whole thing, but we'll link you to all of it. Ooh.
It's just water.
Only
water.
What's going on?
Needed some water. That's all.
We've got some brand spanking new trivia questions from Nathan, and I'll show you some funny stuff from the last trivia we did as well. And then we've got a little bit of a tease for what's coming up. So there's lots.
Yeah.
I am hot also.
It is warmer in
It's
here.
flannel day today.
It is flannel day
By the
today.
way. It's flannel day a lot of days in my house because I like flannel.
Living the dream.
I am. Cool.
Who's in here?
Yeah, say hi to some people.
I see Goldbug80. I see Talarta. I see, let's see, Sunstreaker Waza, Soaring Eagle 76, Scourge 1024, Chota Boy 1, hello, Hand Solo 73. I see Poppy Blaze, Dirty Spot in here, yes, of course. I see someone whose name is very green and hard to read, Geoblaze. Hi Poppy Blaze, hello to you too. I see Cage 1123, the booster bot. I see Vajto, Alvin CG, Azriel 86, hi. And who else have we got? Cronus Prime, Techno Angels, Elotico, Big Bronzer IM.
One thing I just saw and I was like, what? Is that for real? Where'd it go? It was, was it Robin? Robin Raquel? And you said, oh, here it is. This needs to get going. I've got an entire emu farm to take care of.
Whoa.
Is that for real? Because
An emu farm?
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
Is that true? I really want it to be true. So hello to you and to Jason Perry and Gis Desbois and William Sabo, Christian Cruz, Jason Chatham, Aaron Plays, Walt Smith, Joe Vasquez, to Kevin Fairfield Ruxton, to Hyun Nguyen, to who else? Lamont Wooten, Earl Hessen, also hello to Sun Tzu Psyops and Son Lee and Ultimus Nubilis and Miyuki and San Lee and Green Overlord Master, what's that? Freedy Rivera, Royce Phelps, Ryan Nichols, DJ Wetmouse rather, Kai Blanchett, Jeffrey Son. I saw Nathan Webb in there as well. Howard Choi, what's up? Lord Megatron, Blue Charge, Terry Salazar, Joe Hudson, always nice to see you as well. Who else? Ashish Bagaruti, Ashiat Sapnis, Vilo Drag, Dirty Spot. I think you're in a few different places. Nice to see you.
All over the place.
All over the place.
Dirty Spot.
Yeah.
Dirty Spot is everywhere.
He is. He was in my email as well, because he emails.
All right, what are we doing today?
Yeah, let's jump in because we do have quite a bit to go through.
Yeah, quite a
so, why don't we chat about this weekend's event? Do some dialogue. We'll do the core. We'll do the 5-star bonus.
Yes.
Do some Q&A, some trivia, and some other stuff. Yeah, let's get going.
All the
Cool.
good stuff.
Let's see if the game is ready to roll. It is.
It is.
I'll let you guys take it away.
Well, I'll give it to Sophie.
Go ahead, Sophie.
Alright, what are we looking at first? We're looking at the event?
Let's look at the event.
Yeah,
let's
let's
look
say
at,
go to the event first. And
let's
then
look
do
through the
dialogue.
rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we've got Salty Encounters. We have the chance to win a fabulous crystal,
Ooh.
which is just
This
the
is like
best name.
the home shopping channel
Yeah.
or like
What
The Price
fabulous
is Right or
crystal.
something. Like,
Yeah.
we've got a fabulous. Anyways, go on.
Right, and the fabulous crystal contains 5-star shards, 4-star shards, and 3-star shards, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
5-star
so a
shards.
lot of 5 stars for everyone, pretty much. So
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoy this.
We got some alloy, we got 2-star shards, energon, 5-star shards, and 500 spark. And it's an 80 event.
Yeah, so it's in 80. So
80.
Alliance totalizer event. So
Yeah.
you just play with your alliance, 6 prestiges. So
Yep.
you can get like just by the base 5-star stars, that's like I think 300 or something. And so it gives you another like also on top of the ones you can get from the chance crystals. So it's pretty good giveaway, we think. So hopefully you can, if you're lacking in the 5 stars you needed to get the 5-star crystal, today will be your day, hopefully. And then you have the choice of actually getting from the old 5-star crystal or the new 5-star crystal. So
Yeah, and while we're talking about that, maybe we should go ahead and talk about the new 5-star rotation. The reason why we got 5-star crystal out.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, if you go,
Let's do it now.
I don't know if it's here, but you can find it. Yeah, so in the 5-star in the store you can see there's now 2 5-star crystals. One is the old one, and then the other one is the new one. So the old one is gonna last for a week. So for in this week you have the time to choose which one you want to open from the 2. So the new 5 stars, which I'm gonna bit, is like Ultra Magnus from the Autobot side, Autobot Jazz, Springer, Firefly, and everyone's favorite Cheetor. From the Decepticon side, that is Galvatron, Mixmaster, Azor Train, Blastoff, and Blackarachnia. So it's a balance of characters. We always try to not have like all amazing bots because we feel like all the bots are pretty strong in certain ways. So we want to make a balance of characters. We want to have some gunners, some tanks, some support people. So that's why it's always a bit of a mix.
Yeah. All that said,
Yeah.
let's address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Because
You mean the cheater in the room?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of people talking about it. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Cheetor, right? Cheetor and Blackarachnia are in the 5-star rotation. Some people thought, well, I mean, even amongst ourselves, me and Yanis were talking about it, and we really wanted to examine what Cheetor and Blackarachnia's role in the team was, how they were working out, how they compared against other bots. Since we knew they were going into the selection and be, really, really strict as to how good characters they were, and whether we want to make sure that
We want to make them viable for a high-level team. We
There you
don't want
go.
to just like give them a boost for be like, yeah, it's fine, but I don't see him like someone I can actually use him in war. So we kind of I actually sat down and played like, if I take him within a squad, what I can actually do in order to make him viable in something that I actually can depend on. So that's what we were the thought behind the buffing decisions we did.
Right. So we buffed them.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah, we
buffed.
did.
It's actually live
Yes.
now in game.
Live in game right now.
Yeah.
Cheetor and Blackarachnia have been buffed.
Yeah.
They have been improved. I know like a couple of months back we did one buff where we changed around their ability. We made their ability more straightforward
Yeah.
and easier to use. And it just didn't make them quite strong enough yet. So I went back and revisited their stats. I took a look at their base, their core stats, and found that they really just weren't stacking up with what the character's role was, what the character needed to do. Especially once they used their ability and they got out ahead of the rest of the team, the stats didn't quite work out for them. So what I did was I buffed them, just straight up buff. So Cheetor's and Blackarachnia's health has gone up by in the neighborhood of 20%. And their damage has actually gone up even more. It's gone up in the neighborhood of around 40%.
Yeah, pretty much like, so if I have here the 5-star at level 53. Before his damage was around 210, now it's at 352 damage. So the boost was considering. His health around 7,000, now it's 10,000. If you see his stats, like when he's in ability mode, he does like 1,000 damage per hit for 15 seconds.
And he
Give him on
it.
an outpost boss. If he goes on the gunners, he will just pretty much like destroy any gunner pretty much like in seconds. Even on an attack team, he's not great if there is like a time trap because he's not doing good about with walls. But if you are near buildings and stuff and you unleash him and you have a tank in front, he will just mince the place. And we're actually gonna play later on. And I'll take him to like an HQ 15 and 16 base, and you can actually see that these guys are not joking anymore. They are pretty good. I would definitely love to have one in the team. I mean, yes, they're not Jazz. For sure, because Jazz his usage is like he can one-shot guarantee one building, but he's different. He's like, as a walking team, if I have my gunners, I want him as an extra damage to clear the path around. So yeah.
Yeah, they're very different roles. Like the Cheetor is a really great cleanup bot, right?
Yeah.
Like you've done if you have a team that has good AoE skills, and a lot of teams do, you've got like Star Saber, or you've got Jazz, who's dealing a lot of damage in the area, but isn't taking out everything in that area, right? If you've got anybody who is doing a lot of damage in a space, but there are still buildings left, you turn Cheetor loose in there, and he's just going to wipe out everything.
He's so fast too that the buildings just die like ridiculous. But we'll just show it later on.
Sure.
I mean, I'm going to show it now if we're going to jump through the event. Let's do it a bit later. Yeah.
I just wanted to get it out of the way because I know it's the top thing on a lot of people's minds. So just wanted to talk about it while it was coming up. So event, we're having an event.
This events.
It's going to be an awesome event.
It's salty.
5-star shards, you can get 5-star shards. Yeah. And the name of this event is spot on. The salt around Cheetor. Man,
cool.
He's good. He's good.
Well, people need to try him, and I've already seen a lot of people saying like, oh, actually he's pretty good for this role. They think about the same. If some people have misconceptions about the character, we cannot change their mind. We're gonna demo it, but trust me, guys, it's pretty good. So.
Oh, I just saw a question coming up here about Galvatron and Ultra Magnus to equal out their damage.
I think they're talking about their abilities because they're the only bots that have different abilities between the two. I think the damage is pretty equal from what I remember. Just the problem is Ultra Magnus that it spreads his damage on a number of targets, while Galvatron focuses on the target and also damages the targets on the way. So that's where the difference is. So I don't know, maybe we could see some balance it in a way that we still deal the number of damage the same on the end target, and then we do the extra damage on both. I don't know.
I'll
definitely revisit this.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. As we've said before, whenever something is different, people are always upset.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so much symmetry between the Autobot and Decepticon side. But yeah, I will look at that. And while I saw the question in here, when's the Windblade fix coming? I think it's coming soon.
Very soon.
Yeah,
Very
so
soon.
I worked on it. I made time, made it happen.
It's fixed, I think we think.
It is.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to test it.
Yeah.
We're going to test it and test it and test it and make sure that it actually is fixed. So I can't say 100%. I'll give you 80%. I'm 80% sure that I got it fixed and that it will be coming out with an upcoming release.
Yeah.
In the not too distant future.
Yeah.
Yep. So yes, that work done and hopefully ready to go.
Awesome.
Cool. So we do some dialogue then.
I didn't print out my script.
What are we gonna do? Oh, that was ruined.
I can't participate in this one, guys. I'm sorry.
So, like I said, Dirty Spot was kind enough to send in some dialogue that ENG hoisted for the event last week. So we're gonna play a little clip of that you guys can, that we can all enjoy. And then we'll do this week's dialogue.
All right, awesome.
And I'll put the link to the entire video in the chat. It's actually not just the dialogue; it's like an overview of the whole event and stuff as well. So, thank you for that. All right, let's have a look.
Can you believe this guy? What guy? Trex. Yet another request for a transfer to the Earth Wars front. That's the 17th time of asking. Won't take no for an answer. If it even comes with a spec.
What always is the different one?
Oh, yeah,
4?
no, I you guys already.
Yeah.
His Earth form. It's very detailed. Sports car styling, underhood missile launcher, black beam gun, and wings. Wings! Like he's one to talk as he's sporting a couple of wings off of his back.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, so that was just like a little snippet of it. However, I will put the link in chat so you guys can check out and listen to the whole thing.
I really like the wheeljack there.
Yeah.
It's got kind of the Brooklyn thing.
I love
Tracks.
the laugh at the end.
What are you doing here? It's pretty cool.
So, all right, back to dialogue. Shall we do ours?
Are we crowding around the device?
You know
yeah,
it.
I guess we
Yeah.
are.
You guys go ahead.
This one?
Old times.
Play.
Woo.
Oh, so what's been going on? Sorry. The story so far is what has been going on? Trax.
So far,
So Trax is coming to the Earth Wars. The team thinks that it's time to shake things up by bringing in someone with a crazy new alt mode. So they've decided to let Trax Trax has been sending a lot of requests to come and fight on Earth because he really wants his awesome, sweet flying car alt mode. And they finally approved that and let him in. So Trax has come. And on the Decepticon side, Cutthroat is joining the Decepticon team because they also want to mix things up and bring in an element of chaos with the crazy, bloodthirsty, horrible monster that is Cutthroat.
Yeah.
So that's the state of the story.
All right.
Melody.
Springer! I've got a lock on another prime core. Strange energy readings from this one. Like it's in constant flux.
I'll do, I guess, Springer.
I guess you can do Springer. Yeah.
Roger that, Melody. Our ready squad. What's our new recruit?
If you mean Trax, he's still in the body shop. Fussy doesn't cover this one. Wants every bit of a chassis just so.
Primus give me strength. What was Will just thinking? Well, tell him for me, if he doesn't get his Actim gear, I'll come down there with my reckon ruler and straighten him out.
Easy, Springer. You'll pop a rotor joint. Let's roll out and recce the scene. Who knows? Having Trax in reserve may be not such a bad thing.
Gah, what kind of way is this to win a war?
Sideswipe, Cheetor, Warpath, you're up. Operation Grab the Core before the cons.
Oh boy, I'm wound up like a coil and ready to go, Cap. These 4 legs weren't made for neutral.
I always get them. First hot rod, now.
The core's somewhere in the Utah salt flats. I can give you rough coordinates, but its chimerical nature makes it hard for it to pin down.
What you say? We're pinned down? Hang on, I'll blast us a way out. Lock and load.
We're all going to die.
Hey!
So dramatic. As always.
Drama.
Love it.
All right.
I love the drama.
Next thing.
Yeah, so-
the core?
The core.
The core, I think,
Yeah, the
yeah.
core they're talking about there.
Yeah.
All right, can we bring the core here?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. We
No,
can.
no, it's fine. It's already in there.
It's already
They've
in
already,
there?
Two of them.
already
Don't
set it up.
don't worry
It's ready
about
to
this.
roll.
Well, there it is. There is the new Prime Core. Yeah, we haven't revealed it yet, so it's a. Well, we
Alpha
talked
Trion.
about it a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Alpha Trion. There it is. Alpha Trion is our next Prime to be featured
Is
in
it
the
Trion?
game.
I say Trion.
Oh, really?
No, I think it's Trion, but
You just wanted to throw some controversy in there.
Alpha Trion,
I
Alpha
think-
Trion. No, it is Trion, yeah.
Yeah, try 'em.
Have I said Trion? I don't even think I have. It just came out of nowhere. Carry on.
People who say Trion are wrong.
But they're right in everything else. It's just the
Well, Alpha Trion
Yes.
is the prime of knowledge, so he knows how wrong they are in other matters as well. Because Alpha Trion, yes, is the prime of knowledge. Alpha Trion, as you know, is actually one of the first primes. I think maybe I hope I'm not spoiling any trivia questions. Is like
I don't
the
know,
first
are you?
prime-
Did you read them?
I don't think I did.
Ignore the fact that there's two. That's
Yeah, it's I gifted myself two because I couldn't see one, and it's like there's no way you can delete them now. So
Oh
Yeah.
well. Okay.
Cool.
So it's a bug that there are two. But yeah, Alpha Trion is one of the first primes ever to appear in any of the Transformers continuity. He is often found as an ancient Cybertronian working incognito in various situations, like the mentor to Optimus Prime and doing other things. But he's the prime of knowledge, and we have reflected that in the game with the ability of the Alpha Trion core. So as you can see here, the ability, it is gain 1 ability point every 35 seconds. So the way this works is when you equip the Alpha Trion core onto one of your bots, all that bot has to do is just stay alive. As long as they're on the battlefield and there, that timer is counting down, counting down, counting down, counting down. And once it reaches 0, your team gets an ability point. Simple as that. Ability points for free. No buildings have to be destroyed. You just get the point. The point stays around. It can be used like any other ability point. Just as simple as that. As you level up that core, the time that it takes to get another ability point decreases. So, like here, we've got it at every 35 seconds. I think it's actually 1 second per level. So, yeah, pretty sure that's right. So then the next level, it would be 34 seconds, the next 33. So it keeps counting down so that you get more ability points per battle and you get them faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alpha Trion core is actually pretty straightforward, but it is pretty revolutionary. We've never done anything exactly like this before. There's never been any additional way to get ability points in the game. So I think it's pretty powerful. We did a lot of balance work, like seeing exactly how many ability points we wanted to add into a battle, how it would work if you were able to keep that bot around for the entire battle and they were taking up ability points the whole time. So I think we got it in a pretty good place. So there we go, Alpha Trion.
nice.
Cool. So any questions come in about that? Oh, so while your combiner is out, does the timer continue? I do not
No,
believe that it
I don't
does.
think so.
So like with everything else with the bots, when the combiner comes out, the bots themselves go back, right? They retreat. So the timer pauses while the combiner is out, and when the combiner's gone, comes back in, the timer resumes again. So yeah, like everything else with that. Let's see. Yeah. So the amount of ability points that you're getting in battles is going to be, it actually goes up pretty high once you get the core leveled up. I don't remember the exact amount. I'd have to look at a spreadsheet. But it does get up pretty high. It's about 20 or 30% over where you can normally get ability points. Yeah, let's see, what else? Looking for other questions about it. Does the timer go down or the point amount go up with level or both? Oh, good question. Only the timer goes down. So each time is only 1 ability point, but the timer gets lower and lower. So that's how it levels up. Cool.
What if it's on one of the combiner limbs?
I'm afraid that doesn't
You
count.
can just like hug it up on top.
I'm afraid that doesn't quite count. Yeah, the combiners unfortunately don't have a lot of relationship to their stats of their component parts or the power cores equipped on their component parts. It's a neat idea to think that they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing, but don't have the tech for that.
Don't have-
Yeah.
But you know, never know in the future what might happen. You never know. But yes, at the moment, no, it does not count if it's part of one of the component parts.
And some people are, I think, potentially confused about the level that we're showing. This is just level 1.
Yeah, it's just level 1.
Yeah, this is level 1
Yeah.
going to 2.
Yeah. So this is the lowest level. of the core.
Yes.
We'll be releasing a challenge battle early next week, so you can see the core at its max level, and you can see how you're generating ability points there, it comes around pretty quick. Yeah, so look for the challenge battle early next week, and look for the Prime Core itself to be available.
I think next week.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
Maybe.
very soon.
might happen soon.
Might happen.
Might happen pretty soon. So yeah.
Harry's gonna kill him.
It's like, no!
Yeah. I see another question about Blackarachnia cheater buff. Cheetor buff, not cheater. Hey, it's cheater. Cheaters in the game. Question is the buff just for the 5-star? No, it's actually for all star levels of Cheetor and Blackarachnia. All of them got buffed. So if you have the Cheetor in your inventory and it's 4-star, 3-star,
It's getting a buff too.
it's getting the same buff.
We haven't even thought of the other side of the buff. The ability.
Oh, that's right. You didn't mention that.
We missed that the ability cost has decreased. So from the repeatable usage, so I think it was 4, 6, 8 or something. Maybe it was going up to 2. Now it's like 4, 5, 6. So it's pretty cheap to like keep him like using if you need to get him.
That's right. So every time you use the ability, the cost instead of going up by 2 goes up only by 1. So the reasoning for that is we think that Cheetor's is most fun when he's in his beast mode, and same with Blackarachnia. They're the most fun when they're out there doing their quick attacks and they're healing and they're scampering around. And we wanted you to be able to use that more, so that's the reason we made that increase. Also, we made a small increase to the amount of damage that they do to walls while they're in that mode, to hopefully get them through walls a little bit easier. Yeah.
Is it the time to show them around?
Oh, is it?
What's that?
Shall we show them?
Show Cheetor and Blackarachnia?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's fucking
I'm
Why
so
not?
excited for it.
Yeah.
Do you need me to? Are they on that account? Or?
No, don't worry. I've
Yeah.
got this covered.
He's
Yes,
got it.
Got it. Yes,
It's
yeah,
good.
make
They're
it
like,
happen.
they're pros. I'm not here next week, so
I'm
Roll
glad
out.
you do.
the team.
Oh, let's see. This is.
So look
Bomb
out for
Steam.
lots of technical difficulties next week.
Let's go. The zone 14. Why not? Hopefully, I don't get the time. It's gonna suck.
Sorry, someone was saying something about the Wing Blade fix. And just a reminder there is that she does it. What it makes her do is land in the right spot, so that she does what the ability says and always lands in that location.
Yeah, the fix is not out yet because people said like it's not fixed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're still testing
said-
it. Yeah.
It's still
Deploy.
going through the test process.
Optimus
But I
Prime.
wanted to let you know that the work is happening.
Now,
It's in.
reap the whirlwind.
Break through these rules first.
Remember to look around. Oh, he did the speed up for players.
Just one
hand.
to go through the wall.
Alright, he's punched through the wall. Oh,
Get that. Stun. There.
so protecting the distracting.
Goes down. So yeah, you have to keep your back. If you kinda leave your back low in front, he's gonna probably die. But
Abilities ready.
as long as you keep him alive, someone else will take the damage.
Abilities ready.
Still, he's
Yeah.
got a lot of abilities on that side.
Yeah, he did quite a lot. He did carry off. He takes some time to use you.
Hey! Very nice.
needs to be, I think, in the Rust team. So walking team doesn't really like
Autobots,
really
roll out.
good impression. Just put one more.
Oh, they say the sound effects are too loud.
Whoa.
Sorry guys.
Yeah.
We can fix that.
Sorry for the sound effects being too loud. We'll fix that right now.
Yeah, time trap.
There you go.
Alright.
I mean, that's nice. But it's working.
Yeah, so I think what we're seeing here with Cheetor is that it's important to remember that he's not a tank, right? Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't tank all the damage. That's not his role. His role is to chew through everything in sight.
You can see how he pretty much minces like all those buildings just by himself.
But if you let him get too far out in front, then yeah, he's going to get taken down. He doesn't have the health to be a tank, but he does have the health to really be an attacker, right? To claw through things in his way.
Killing Megatron.
It's very quiet here.
I know, the
yeah.
concentration is
Concentration.
The tension.
mad.
As Talara pointed out, he ate Megatron's kneecaps.
They're very tasty. They're good for you.
I think now he's gonna give me some ability points.
You got enough?
Just barely. It's massive.
Yeah, this is a good
Here he
opportunity.
goes.
Nice.
It's on the HQ now, so. I mean, he doesn't show, but he does like now pretty much 1,000 damage on the
Yeah.
hit. So
No,
pretty much like.
I think that showed it up pretty well. You saw how fast down.
I don't know, it's for you guys to play and see if he is like that. I think he's pretty good. But yeah, just you get his 4-star, you try him out. I think he's much better now. Even 5-star, I think he can kick some ass. So let's see.
All right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Give Cheetor a chance. All we're
That's all you
saying,
ask.
Give
is
him a
give
chance.
Cheetor a chance.
I think if you see all our like 5 stars we've given, he's definitely not on the bottom thing. I mean, personally, I would like him more than Drift 5-star because
Really, you think so?
Drift can be really hard to control. He will just move ahead.
That's true.
He will just take your healers along.
Uh-huh.
Even my Windblade that I have here is like I just don't know what to do with her pretty much because like she goes there, but then she just dies also really quickly. So I don't know. And then there's Silverboard too, which is
Now, see, I mean, that's like another great opportunity for the Vector Prime Core.
yeah.
You put that Vector Prime Core on one of those bots who does like to jump ahead,
Yeah, but
and it's the same concept as diving, right? Sometimes it's good to dive, and you need that.
you
dive.
have to
And then
time
you
it
got-
correctly though for the
Yeah.
Vector Prime, which by the way we know there's a problem with the Vector Prime core.
That's
I
true,
think
yeah.
you mentioned it, and we know sometimes the game is crashing. So we have a fix in place, but it's gonna be like a week before we can actually roll it out because it requires some the client to have a new update on the client, so that takes a bit more time. So just I think for the time if you have that core, try to maybe not use it as much because it can actually make your game crash.
Well, wait. Do we know the specific circumstances in which it does so?
We don't know. We have seen replays and we have a fix for it. I think it's when it goes back in time and you doing an ability or something, it could cause the game to crash because it thinks you're already using the ability. I'm not sure about the details.
It is fairly rare. I mean,
It doesn't happen as often, but I do have to say just because in some people have the crash, so they know that it is there. But we have a fix in, but it's gonna be I think a way before it can actually get here.
okay, so the fix is coming very, very soon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What questions do we have when we were talking about it?
Yeah.
Discussion of the core itself. What else? Somewhere other than Twitch.
questions.
Da-da-da.
Good opportunity.
shall we do a trivia question?
Yeah, let's
While you
do a
have
trivia while
while
the
you have a
people
look
like
through for questions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Well, let's do that.
We had some questions also in backup.
Yeah, think I saw one. Can you
Oh yeah,
switch
there
to-
were a couple as well, actually. So your first question, remember to include your in-game name, your alliance, and your HQ level with your answer. As always, they come from the lovely Nathan Webb, who is an ace artist, and you can check out his page over here. I popped it into the chat. I feel like my throat is scratchy.
I hope you're not getting that cold that's going around. It's already taken out 3 people
Has it?
on the team
Yeah.
next
No,
to you. Yeah.
not cool. I have
Yeah.
holiday next week.
Yeah.
I'll be so mad.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is question 1. The IDW comics have really expanded the idea that some Transformers have siblings and partners and other complex relationships. But who is Trax's spark brother?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
Again, question. The IDW comics have really expanded the idea that some Transformers have siblings and partners and other complex relationships. But who is Trax's spark brother? Now remember to include your in-game name, your alliance, and your HQ level with your answer. And go. And yeah, feel free to answer some more cues whilst we get some answers.
Okay. What questions did you see?
There were a couple from before.
Sorry.
There was one question from earlier about collections, and people would love the option to view other people's collections, which I thought was quite cool.
That'd be cool, but it's also quite tricky to set up. Because we do show the rank of the other people, but to show the actual collections, I assume they want to show the stats of what bots they have. Again, it can be. It's an interesting idea. I mean, we can have a look, but it is quite tricky because we do know if it's easy for you to grab the data when you visit someone. We don't store all the data on the user accounts too easily accessible from other people, so we'll see.
The answer is we'll see, but it is a nice idea. I do like that. It's a cool idea. And I'm doing my random.
You stabby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Random choices.
So one more question while that's going on. Joda asked about scouts of the game. Asked about Perceptor and Bumblebee. Bumblebee, right? Yeah. Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee, Perceptor. Well, I mean, Cheetor was in the scout class, or is it special?
He's special.
Yeah, but he was like the stats was a scout.
Stats were similar, yeah. So okay, yeah. So around scouts, yes, good question. That is, when I was looking at Cheetor, I really began to look at Rust Dust. Thanks to Larta. Yes, I really began to look at some of the other scouts that we had in the game. The ones that said that on their class, and some that were special and kind of statted like scouts. And yeah, I think they do deserve a buff across the board. So I still need to work on it. I still need to get the numbers in and get them out.
Yeah, we have some ideas, but we still want to investigate how valid they are.
But yes, you can expect that someday in the not too distant future that there will be a buff for all of the scouts. That they will improve. I think there was some balancing early on around the speed of the character and their ability to dodge.
We give them interesting abilities to kind of most of them have abilities that allow you to either lock down the base or weaken the base or do a lot of the stuff, which is useful, but at the same time the bot doesn't live in order to be able to use this ability when you need it. Then it's not as good because his health is so low and they tend to be quite quick that they go near defenses, so they end up dying faster. So we want to play around that area, but I think just we need to investigate what's the best thing to do for them.
Yeah, but it's coming. Yeah.
And our winners are, first of all, the answer was Needle Nose. Hasbro ran a competition for fans to choose the next Double Robot box set. One of the options was Trax versus Needle Nose. Brother versus Brother was the subheading. Very cool.
Is that the question too?
Huh?
Is that question too?
No, that was the answer to
Okay.
question one.
Needle nose. The answer is needle nose.
The answer is needle nose. And congratulations to Jay Valgamore, also to Kyle Blanchette and WowSass7. Congrats to you guys. And last week,
Congratulations.
last week we had a question about what was it? The original lineup.
Ooh.
And we talked about the watches and how they weren't included. And then people took to social media about those watches. And apparently a lot of people remember those watches, which is really cool.
those
watches.
Yeah, I was seeing them too.
I had a black one. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
I have
love
it.
It's very cool. Anyways, do you have more questions or?
We saw a question about the 2 stars.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Apparently, people have noticed that some new 2 stars that weren't existing there before, they're now there. We had to do it because at some point we had we hadn't, like, for example, Optimus Prime and Megatron 2 stars didn't exist, but they came from the campaign. So it kind of didn't make much sense after a point, because in the art function you could never get those bots because they weren't available in the crystals. We also at some point mistakenly have released them again, because they do exist, but they were never in the crystals, but we had been releasing. So some people, like I have, for example, a 2-star blaster for some, like one of the random things, and no one else get that bot. So it made sense now to not hold them back, to release them. Also for a lot of the 2 stars that belong to combiners, it also helps get some combiners power. So we said, like, yeah, there's no reason to not have them, just get them out there. That's why you're gonna see Blaster, Wheeljack, and the equivalent versions out in the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We've got one more question for you guys
Oh.
before we go, and then
Trivia number 2.
yes, and then we'll take some more questions as well. So if you guys want to keep an eye out.
Of course.
Question the second. Remember to include your in-game name, alliance, and HQ level with your answer. It is Cutthroat and the Terrorcons debuted in the cartoon episode titled Grimlock's New Brain. But how many lines of dialogue did Cutthroat have? Ooh. Speaking of dialogue, yeah. Good luck, you guys. Maybe Angie Hoist knows.
Go and watch the full episode right now.
Exactly. Again, question. Cutthroat and the Terrorcons debuted in the cartoon episode titled Grimlock's New Brain, but how many lines of dialogue did Cutthroat have?
All right.
Mm.
All right. While you're answering that question, we will answer your questions. See another post about Galvatron and Ultra Magnus. I will definitely be investigating this, and I'll let you know soon what I find.
Hi, Engineer Hoist is there. Great episode.
Yeah. Hey, good to see you.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Had a question about Omega Supreme. Is Omega Supreme, when is Omega Supreme coming to the game? Well, I want to keep answering this because it keeps getting asked, just so everybody knows.
Omega Supreme is a weird one. I mean, we've thought about it, like, how can I introduce him to the game? The problem is, like, he has no counterbalance on the Decepticon side.
Yeah, I mean, we might be able to dig through lore and find something, but the tough thing is, like, you can't just put in Omega Supreme as a normal bot and say,
No,
oh,
I mean,
here's
he would have
Omega
to be some
Supreme.
combiner class bot, but
He's not a combiner, so he can't really work like a combiner. He's like,
it could be a way, but we need parity. So if I want, because he's a notable, I cannot get him in the Decepticon. If there is something equivalent on the Decepticon side, like Overlord, I don't know, you have to look at this. If it's equivalent, then maybe we can do something like that. It could be a defense that you have in your base, and then he gets up and defends.
well, I mean, Overlord is similar in that he turns into something that's like a big base, but at the same time, Overlord is also not on the scale of Ultra Magnus. If you look at Overlord and like, he recently appeared in the
the series. He's not. He doesn't feel that big.
He's not that.
He's
He's
not
not a
boss.
giant. Like the thing about Omega Supreme is this. He's a combiner size,
Yeah.
but he's not a combiner. He's just a normal bot. So Overlord doesn't really match the same thing. I think maybe we can find a Decepticon equivalent, but on the other hand, it would still need to be like a different class of anything that we have so far. So if we're going to introduce Omega Supreme, it's like it's not just a normal bot in our release schedule. It was a lot of work. We'd have to like really like Omega Supreme is a new feature that we're giving to you, right? So it would be a big thing. So yes, the answer to the Omega Supreme question is again. We love Omega Supreme, we think he's cool, but we have other plans for other things that you've been asking for and wanting that we think you're going to love a lot more than you'd love Omega Supreme. So we're working on those instead of Omega Supreme.
Yeah, we'll always keep him in our mind if we make something that actually makes sense to use him as. I mean, I would definitely like to have Omega Supreme in the game, but so we'll see. Yeah,
so... Yeah, but no plans for him at the moment, but we do like him.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a very big boy.
I'm still waiting for the correct answer on Facebook.
Oh.
So,
have Twitch got it?
Yeah, other people have got it.
Oh,
but,
nice.
I haven't seen it on Facebook yet, so keep going, guys.
Someone asked if you use the ability points. If you use an ability on a bot and he dies before he actually uses it, if the ability points get returned to the pool or you lose them, you do actually lose them because we have already at that point taken the cost. I think it should be a game balance. You should know this kind of the state of the bots and just make sure that they're not close to death when you're about to heal them. But it is a balancing. If you made a mistake, I'm afraid the cost has already been taken away. So
yeah. It has happened already. Yeah, as soon as the ability gets triggered.
A lot of times can be messy. I mean, you can always see the head or something like that. But it's the same thing if you do it on a Jetfire and he flies and then someone kills him after he's released only one of his missiles, then same will happen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We have got some answers I've randomly chosen. And the answer to the question, how many lines of dialogue did Cutthroat have, is 0.
No.
0.
No
Trick
lines
question. Because Cutthroat didn't get a speaking role until Call of the Primitives. Yeah, enjoy. That's trivia. I love them. They're so good and in depth.
Thank you.
Thank you
again, Trivia Master.
Yes, Trivia Master. Appreciate that. And our winners are Mr. Cupcake, congratulations to you, and to Skypoke, and to Ari Bernstein.
Congrats,
well
guys.
Congratulations. Good job.
Yes, indeedy.
All
right. Right. Did you guys have more questions you wanted to answer?
Was there anything else on our list of things to
There is one more thing to announce, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's that? I don't remember what that is.
It'll be quick. We can save it right till the end.
Okay.
So we'll hear more about it next week.
All right.
But I mean, yeah, we can talk about it now. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Yay!
Oh, yay!
Yes. So it is indeed our second anniversary coming up on June 2nd. Is 2 years of Transformers Earth Wars, which is really exciting. Yeah. Hey. So thank you to all of you guys who have been with us since the beginning, and to all of you guys who have come in later and stuck around. We really appreciate it. We will be doing stuff around said anniversary, of course. So let me just move this so you can see this. Yeah, we've got lots of stuff planned around the 2-year anniversary. So make sure that you keep your eyes and ears peeled for how you can take part. And I'll also be putting something on social because of, lovely GDPR and stuff. If you do want more info, then you have to opt in to get more info. So we'll make that available to you as well. There is a place in the game where you guys can actually go in and sign up. So that's always there. There's always a newsfeed in the game where you guys can leave your email so that we're able to contact you. So make sure that you guys do that as well. But yeah, like I said, I'll put up a post on social for that too. And stay tuned over the next 3 weeks. There'll be stuff.
There'll be stuff coming, lots of stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff. No, it's exciting. Yeah, we've had many brainstorms on exactly what would be cool. So
yeah, fun things.
Fun things coming.
Fun
things.
things.
Stay tuned. that was my thing.
All right, good announcement.
Yeah.
More questions and
I did see a
go
question
and send more questions in.
from Kronos Prime. He asked about Warpath. Warpath is another bond I'll be investigating for a while. I have heard some feedback about feelings that Warpath's damage is a little bit low, so I'll be checking that out.
I think they were talking about his main attack damage.
Yeah, his main attack damage.
When he's walking in, maybe.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I think we can make an improvement there. Warpath and Skull Smash, of course. Yeah, cool. Did anyone see anything else?
Can we put a disco ball on top of the HQ?
Well, we have something like the
Cool.
disco ball
Yeah.
for HQ16.
Yeah.
We could just reskin it to be a disco ball, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Disco ball of death, just.
Instead of fire for the flame, I'm a confetti.
Yeah, we might be able to put a disco ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are asking for like a party in the game.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Awesome indeed.
Any questions from other like media? Because someone.
Yeah, Sun Tzu Science is asking, will we get a core for jets to improve ability damage like gunners?
Yes. At some point, we did promise it. I think when we were discussing about HQ16, I did discuss it with Josh too. They're definitely gonna come, but before that there might be something else cool that you can actually enjoy. But I'm not gonna speak any more about that. So it's definitely though eventually gonna come there. So all your planes are definitely gonna be back to at least the good downs, because we felt like after we did HQ16 that planes are not as useful, and I mean you have to get even Jetfire at really high level, and even Firefly we just released a 5-star version, it has to be like 56-9 to be useful enough, so definitely wouldn't pack them eventually.
There's a question from William Neurons. Did they say if they will give Swoop and Sludge a name change to match the power of the Prime's Toyline? We didn't say.
It's been discussed like
Yeah.
we did do it for Hot Rod when we were naming it Hot Rod, but I don't know how hard that process was, and if we were to do it again.
Well, we need to double check on the availability of that.
Yeah, of course, like we need to talk with Hasbro again to actually have the rights, because sometimes they do the toys, but it might not actually carry over for us. So definitely have to check up with our partners.
Yeah, I'll check on that again.
Oh my gosh. Rachel Rackle says, my emus are starving.
You better
Well,
get
feed
to
them! Don't starve your emus!
Man,
That's
you're
amazing.
brave. You're brave to be an emu
Yeah.
farmer. I know that they are not. They're not docile animals. It's not like being a sheep herder. You can't just walk out into your field of emus and not expect for one of them to go charging after you.
Ooh, Oscar Rodriguez. This is an interesting one. Can we upgrade Optimus to get his trailer?
Ooh.
So there's a funny.
I was like, oh.
There's a funny story about the Optimus trailer. When the first time we did the power course, we thought it would be just like stats upgrades. So you put on the button, you get the stats you do. And then Chris, our old PO, he has his idea. I mean, my idea imagining the power course is like that Optimus trailer comes in and does stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, how do you even do this? But since then we've done we've done the crowns, we've done like swords, we've done extra attachments on bots when you get the core. So never say never. May at some point his dream might come true and we can get his trailer in the bot. But what do we do for Megatron? I guess which is equivalent. That could be the problem.
Turn into a gun.
Yeah, we'll put some thought behind that one. All right.
I mean, maybe we could get the trailer just spawn in the base, just opens up, does damage, and then disappears, right? That's all you need.
I don't know why no one's asking for the little drones that were in Optimus Prime's trailer.
Aww.
I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but he had these little drones that would come out and do his bidding.
Oh,
That's cute.
Yeah.
I love
They
all
were
the little
pretty cute.
minions and things.
Mm.
Or like the little tiny Sharkticons. Oh my gosh. Don't even.
Oh, Roller and Sentry. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Florida.
So cute.
Yeah. Nice roller. Her little antenna going beep, beep,
Oh.
beep, beep.
There was another question I just thought about. Oh, not question, but suggestion. Sith Lord Dark Banner, quite dark. RC ability added to add attack to her dupe. You know, the hologram thing that she gets.
RC's wait.
Yeah, the decoy.
No,
Yeah,
the decoy.
decoys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has an attack. It stuns.
No,
things.
it's just stuns. He doesn't actually do damage.
Right.
So.
Oh, to have the decoy do damage
Yes,
in addition
exactly.
to stunning things. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one.
That's one of my favorite abilities.
You know, that ability can be really, really strong, and it cannot be. It's very situational.
we used to love it as a way to just like pop outposts and just get her to do stuff and help me when I was still using her in my squad. It was pretty useful because you have a building there that you don't have the ability to destroy. You just spawn the ability on the building itself, and then it just shuts it down for good.
And if if there's nothing within range of that defense, it's going to be locked down.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like you can
battle.
just leave it forever, and pretty much like it locks it down. So that's -1 building you have to worry about.
Yeah, it can be really powerful when used in the right context. I think RC will be there will be some attention paid to RC in the not too distant future. Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I'll say about that.
Cool. Well, I think we are almost out of time.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely be back next week. We'll tell you more about the 2-year anniversary and what you can expect from said anniversary. I'll be away, but these guys will be here.
Yay.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
That's what we do.
Oh yeah.
That's what they do. Keeping it real. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, I hope I don't.
Oh, no.
Don't be sick.
Don't be
Not
sick.
cool.
Order you not to be sick.
Thanks. I hope that works. Anyways, yeah, we will see you guys next week, and we hope you have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your salty encounter.
Oh yes.
Sounded wrong.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.